Hi you guys, I'm back. So now I'm going to start mixing the color of the back cloth right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking for the look. Again, I apologize for the my cameraman is being quarantined right now, so he couldn't get over here, so I've got to do this myself. So I'm holding the camera with one hand and mixing the paint with the other. So, but I'm gonna paint the fabric right now. So I'm gonna block that in. Again, we want to block everything in first. So I'm mixing the local color. So that's the color of the fabric without reference to the highlights or the shadows on it. So when I look at this, what I'm seeing is it's purple or violet, or whatever you want to call it. It's purple or violet, and it's got I'm looking for the, like, right around here. So there aren't highlights or shadows in there. So these are the shadows, so I don't want that dark. I don't want it to be as dark as that, and I don't want the highlights that are down here. So I want to get somewhere in the middle. So that's what I'm going to be aiming for in terms of the color that I'm mixing. So I'm doing the back first, and I can see that's kind of a reddish purple. Right now, as I got it, as I'm mixing it, I can see that it's still way too red. So, and I want to add some water to this, because I can see that it's getting it's sticking too much. It's getting a little too sticky, and we don't want it to do that. We want the paint to move really well. So we want this to move. So I'm getting this nice and mixed, and you can see it's moving nicely. It's still a little too much on the red side. So it's too much of a reddish purple, so I'm going to add some more cyan to this to kind of get to that spot. So what I'm looking for now is I'm looking for its basic, the basic hue. Again, that local color, so that's without reference to the highlights or the shadows. And this is coming together. At some point I'm going to add a little bit of white to this as well, because this needs to go lighter. And with my setup, I'm using a palette knife to do this. With my setup over here too, I have, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Anyway, okay, so I'm still adding a little bit of cyan in this mix. So I'm adding a little bit of cyan because I want this to get a little bit deeper. So what I'm looking for right now is I'm looking for the hue. Remember those 3 dimensions of color, where this is where all this stuff starts coming into play. So we've got hue, which is what I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for that basic value, that basic tone in this. That's what I'm looking for. We've got hue, we've got intensity, and I can tell already this is going to be a little too intense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding a little bit of the complement, which is a little bit of yellow to this. Again, when I say a little bit, check this out. This is just a little bit. So I'm adding a little bit, and what that's going to do is it's going to dull it down, because all of our colors, I'm going to add some more to it, are a little too intense. So this is saturation. This is how bright or how dull these colors are. Once I've got that, I can see that it's getting duller right now by adding I'm adding a little bit of purple, pardon me, a little bit of yellow.